There is a rule written into every mountain range on Earth. Though nothing has ever needed to say it out loud, the higher you climb, the fewer creatures can follow you. Up here, altitude itself becomes a kind of armor. And one animal has built its entire existence around wearing it. The mountain goat does not simply survive these cliffs, it belongs to them. Its hooves are split down the center. Each hoof is split down the center, each half gripping independently, spreading across rock that would offer nothing to any other hoofed animal alive. Where most creatures see a wall, this one sees a staircase. Thin air, biting wind, a few scattered patches of grass wedged between the rocks, enough to keep it fed. Enough to keep it exactly where the danger below cannot easily reach. Far beneath the goat's position, a different kind of morning is unfolding. A mountain lion moves alone through the valley floor. Lean from a winter that has offered little. Unlike animals that hunt in numbers, this one has only itself to rely on. Every failed stalk this season has cost it more than it gave back, and hunger has a way of making a solitary hunter. The lion's body goes still for a moment, reading the air the way only a predator that survives alone has learnt to. A decision forms almost instantly, and it begins climbing toward ground that was never built for it. This is not its territory. Every step here is a gamble the lion wouldn't normally take. Loose rock, thin ledges, air that makes its lungs work harder for less. But an empty stomach has a way of rewriting an animal's usual limits, even for one built more for stealth than for altitude. Above, the mountain goat has no reason yet to suspect anything has changed. It feeds calmly, tearing at the sparse grass, completely unaware that a single, patient hunter is already closing the distance below. Then, a sound that has saved more mountain animals than any sense of smell ever could: the sharp call of a raven. The goat's head snaps up instantly. Ears rotate toward the valley below, reading the mountain the way it has been trained to since birth. And then the wind confirms what the raven already suggested. Lion, close and climbing fast. There is no hesitation, no moment of confusion. The goat is already moving before the thought fully registers, climbing hard toward the only advantage it has ever needed: higher ground. Unlike a chase driven by numbers, this one is driven entirely by precision. There is no flanking, no coordination to rely on. Only speed, timing, and the kind of explosive acceleration a solitary predator depends on when there's no pack to close the gap for it. The goat clears a gap that most animals wouldn't attempt to look at, let alone cross.
The lion tries to follow, driven by hunger more than caution, and the landing nearly costs it everything.
Loose stone gives way beneath its paws, and for a moment it is sliding, not climbing, back down the very slope it just fought to gain. This is the gap between two animals, built for entirely different worlds. What costs the goat almost nothing: a leap, a landing. A recalculation of the next 4 steps costs the lion everything it has. And still, it doesn't stop. The chase climbs into air that punishes anything moving fast through it. Every leap the goat makes now carries higher stakes. A single miscalculation here isn't a stumble. It's a fall with no second chance waiting at the bottom. Twice more, the lion closes the gap with sudden bursts of speed. Twice more, the goat finds one more route across stone that shouldn't hold a footprint. This mountain is running out of room, and then the mountain simply stops offering options. Ahead, Nothing but a sheer face too smooth to climb. Below and behind, a single, relentless hunter closing the last of the distance. There is one option left, and it is barely an option at all. Brittle wood suspended over nothing, with another ledge waiting 10 to 12 feet beyond its reach. The goat steps onto it anyway, because the alternative is no longer climbing, it's cornering. The old wood answers with a groan, bending slightly beneath the weight it was never designed to carry. Behind it, the lion arrives at the same narrow crossing, and for the first time in this entire chase, it hesitates. Even a hunter built for risk understands the difference between a dangerous stalk and a fall with no return. The lion commits, moving low and fluid onto wood that groans louder. Each movement is careful and calculated. It jumps, not because the distance looks survivable, but because staying is no longer survivable at all. 10 feet of empty mountain air between one foothold and the next. Nothing but instinct and muscle memory deciding whether this ends in a landing or a fall.